Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Richard DeCastro. I'm here with the Speak Your Mind show. We're live with you here from JTV. Of course, if you don't have the regular cable TV, you can always log on your computer, www.jtvlive.net. That's jtvlive.net. And you can stream this program. Or if you are away, you can also, ask a friend to log on, or anytime after the show is completed, tomorrow or next week, you can always go to all of the JTV shows at the same address I just gave you, jtvlive.net, and you can review all the past shows and take your time and review them and pay attention to the content. Of course, we're having a show which is a dialogue with the people of the Virgin Islands. So from Anegada to Josh Van Dyke, we have an open show. The numbers are up there, 300-1949 if you're going to call, and 300-1950 if you're going to text. And I would try to address the issues that affect each and every one of us. As I said, from Anegada to Josh Van Dyke, Virgin Gorda, Tortola, all the other islands in between, and the issues that we have, whether they're issues that we can solve or issues that we can just talk about, by dialoguing, by talking with each other, we get much more accomplished than staying in your corner and having an opinion without really bouncing it off some other people and see what they think about it, rather than just being sort of self-centered. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start it off by talking a little bit about the water situation. I think we're seeing some improvements. We've seen work being done in the Bellevue area coming down to Fort Hill, and we've also seen some areas that were where they had to replace pipes being replaced. So some work is being done in those areas. The road works along I think it might be an appropriate time to talk about the naming of the roads. The Blackburn Highway, that's one of the relics of our past, our colonial past, where we still have a lot of names that are from the colonial past, and I'm one of those people who advocate changing those names to reflect the times that we are in now, meaning that we've had people in our community who have impacted our lives significantly recently, and I think that they should be honored by changing some of these colonial names to some of the more recent names. I've always been promoting the idea of the late chief ministers. That is Chief Minister Stout, Chief Minister Romney, Chief Minister Willard Whitley, Chief Minister O'Neill, Chief Minister Smith, and we can, I think I just covered all of them. But we should be able to have major roadways named after these persons in a significant way. I was in one Caribbean country one time, and I know that the premier was sick, and there was a lot of discussions about naming the dual carriageway after him, and he passed away while they were deciding. I'm not sure if they eventually named it after him, but the people in that country were very adamant that this is something that needed to be done now, but that was an independent country, and you know, these things happen. We as people in various positions, we usually call to make decisions and do things for the benefit of the country. And one of the things that really impact people is when you recognize the good that they have done, or their families. I must say that I'm proud to hear and read and listen to some of the work that has been done in the recognition of Dr. Whitley as one of the people that moved this country forward. And I think we should, continue this process of recognizing. I think we could even go even further than that. We have some people in the diaspora who have impacted us as well, and we could start by the various people. I mean, be it as it may, some people may not agree with me, but the list is so long. You could start from Malcolm X, Dr. King, Nelson Mandela, Jesse Jackson. I mean, the list is just so long. And in the recent days now, we have Dr. Ben, and we have so many people that have impacted the lives of people, particularly people in this community, in a positive way, and not only here but around the world in some cases. I was watching a very famous, popular bike race, and one of the things they started talking about was the fact that South Africa was in the race, and they started talking about the contributions that Nelson Mandela made to his country, and inferring that the reason why the cyclists were there was because of the building blocks that were put in place by Nelson Mandela. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we live in a global world now. What happens in one country resonates in another, and we are no different when it comes to that aspect of globalization. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have an open show. You can dialogue with me on a variety of topics. You can talk about the recent road works that are going on. We can talk about the water situation. We can talk about jobs. I always have on my agenda. One of my agenda is jobs. I am referring to the 170 or so persons that come out from the college and from the high schools, and how we could assimilate them into the job market that's as much as possible, and also too we might as well dwell into the issues with HLSCC, the fact that we have a lot of affiliations. The college, that is, has a lot of solid affiliations. We have affiliations with UVI. We have affiliations with a school in Rhode Island that's been really working with our young people and producing some good quality persons from that school. We've had affiliations in the culinary, the Wright State University. The list is on and on and on. And ladies and gentlemen, anything I say that may be controversial or not so controversial about a college, just take down the address. It's www.hlscc.edu.vg, and you can check it for yourself. I can't say 100%, but more than 90.9% of the information about the college is on the website. So you can, take your time, browse, read, fill out an application, support the college. The college is here for you. The next time I'm on the show, I'll probably share with you some information about when school reopens, etc., 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 and some of the programs, the outreach programs that are coming up soon that persons might want to be a part of, that persons might want to register for. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Speaking Mind Show. I'm here with you. One of my colleagues said I was a little too serious last week. I was trying to get across some very serious issues. I'm not so serious tonight. I'm more interested in hearing the views of the public because it seems like we are not too keen on expressing our views or constitutional rights that we have. And I always remind persons in this community that when you don't exercise the God-given rights that you have, sometimes they're taken away from you. So before that happens, I would like to plead with you to take heed and express yourself. I have a text that came in. It says, is Sam no longer part of the program? Sam chose not to be a part of the program for the time being. I'm not sure if he's going to rejoin, but for the time being, he's not a part of the program. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're here live with the Speaking Mind Show, and like I said, I will be able to address any of the burning issues. I might remind persons of some of the issues that we had, outstanding. We had some issues on Virgin Gorda. We have some on Joshua and Dyke. Some of them are being dealt with. Some of them are not being dealt with. However, we have to advocate for change. And if everyone pretend that the problems went away, they probably will go away in your mind, but they may not go away on the ground. So it's important that you keep, advocating for things to be better. We all want to be in a much better position at the end of the day. So while I'm at it, I'd like to also express thanks to the number of persons who made it possible for the Purple Dragon team to be in Trinidad as we speak. A lot of contributions were made, and we have a vibrant team that are down there doing their grading, and I've heard some good results. I hope we hear the best results at the end of the day. So I'd like you to keep them in your prayers and do your best. Cooperative and individual support young people in this community because they usually need your support. Whether it's the Scouts, the Boys Brigade, the Purple Dragon, the baseball team, the softball team, support our young people. We don't have as many sporting activities as we should, but we probably will get better at it as we progress. But we have quite a few, so let us work with the ones that we have. And monetary support sometimes can't be replaced with anything else. We're talking about airfares, we're talking about uniforms, we're talking about balls, gloves, bats. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, not to forget the young football people as well. I see that they're also doing wonders in our community. I'm one of those people who believe it. If you don't exercise your mind and your body and all those things, you more than likely would put yourself in a unhealthy situation, which is probably totally unnecessary. And I think that as we people promote good health and advocate for proper sports programs, sport leagues, etc., 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 and I think the whole community will benefit from more healthy persons and less antisocial activities. So the numbers are up there, ladies and gentlemen. 3001949 if you're going to call, and 3001950 if you're going to text. Okay. So yes, I was promoting the idea of renaming our major roads. You have the Ridge Road, you have the road from Roatan going to West End, you have the road from Roatan going to East End, and We also have some major. Okay. Yeah. Good evening. You're free to speak your mind. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, put no other man.
Nothing much. How you doing?
Yeah, man, respect, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one talk about something else to me. One, other people to speak their mind about it too.
Okay.
There was a union farm in the DVI, and we have paid a lot of money for Jews and stuff like.
Okay.
But in the International Labour Union, them say they don't have the union, the DVI is not recognized.
Probably
It's
not.
not recognized because it's not going on. It's breakdown.
It's probably not registered. Maybe it's not registered with the
It's
international.
registered. It's registered.
It's
But
registered.
it's not recognized by the International Labour Union because it's breakdown over many years now.
Okay.
The breakdown, like, we don't have a president. We still have the founder, but we don't have a president.
Okay.
And all this money that this man who we have as the founder, he collects all this money up. And I is one of the members who want my money to refund back to me. And we want all the other members them to let them views about it because I was one of the executive members and a few more executive members, everybody said, well, this partner shouldn't give that people them money.
Well, Carla, let me ask you. I know a little bit about organizations, right? If you're an executive member, couldn't the rest of the executive members get together and, using your constitution, have an election and form a new executive body?
Well, I want them to come together and so long it's like nobody really interested to do that anymore.
You know,
Because we can't even get a lawyer to represent us because most of the lawyers around here is like them working with some of this company already. So they still don't get any places. And the International Labour Union says it don't recognize because we don't have a quorum,
okay.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we just want the other people them to like call you and say something about it and try to make we link up together and have a meeting because we can't find them. And there's a lot of people, we have around 35 people in Virgin Garden.
Okay.
We have a lot of people in Virgin Garden. We have a whole set over here. But it was going on and those people was coming and paying the money. And it's just one person has the money right now because the money take back out of the bank and on a different account. You have a proper name to that account. I don't remember the name of my mother under. But it's not like it's under Virgin Islands Workers Union anymore.
Okay.
You know, so we have like people have come up and say, okay, let's get back the money. That's right now, and that's what it's since March. And the union can't do nothing for me.
Okay. I was having a similar conversation like this with someone, and what I was saying to me is that because of the work permit issues, some people are afraid of the repercussions if they become involved in union activities. But I was trying to explain to that person that in labor relations, there's a person called a steward, who you should have a steward on each job, and that steward is supposed to be guaranteed their job although they're being representative of the employees. In other words, they shouldn't be able to single out that person and fire that person just because that person is acting for the union.
No, they're not supposed to do that. They can't do that.
Yeah,
They can't do that. But no, no question. But the government have a thing called a trade union right now. And if you have a problem, you go to the labor department and them start stuff here and things. Because there is nothing with the union to do that if you don't have a lawyer. If you don't have a lawyer, there's nothing the union could do and things. And I've working since March, I follow on my job. And the same time I talk about me follow over the Cooper Island dock. I want to partner with you to me. I won't say, somebody came in the other day. Julian. Jim, I'm looking for Julian, because it's like my company said I have now one individual who not even work here. Somebody from abroad.
Okay.
Who involved in the company work or some headline of the company will be abroad. as I tell you, sir, so they have no proof that I fall on the job. So anyway, I know I do and link me up. Anyway, now we're looking for somebody just tell me one day. I will just explain to somebody when I fall on who the guy look like.
Okay.
And when I went to put up that next year, who the person was working with over there. You know?
Okay.
So the person telling me his name. So you know to find him now still, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, man. So
what you have to do is you have to document the stuff properly, you know. You have to, get somebody to help you and document it properly, because it's easy for someone to say that, that you're fabricating something or it didn't happen if you don't document it properly. It's simple. You just put the time, the day, the date, and what happened and who was there, and that should be sufficient.
yeah, man, I try to understand that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the human thing, I'm going to find out now still.
Mm-hmm.
I want all the members to come together and to get back the money, because it's like coming like a robbery, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's coming like a robbery, you know?
Wait, you
I
need
talk to the people them down the International Labour Union,
right.
and I say, if that's what we want, then we should do that,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Because if the union not going forward, and we spend a lot of money inside it, if we don't have a lawyer, it don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, the union is not recognized themselves. The government of they have a child union. Then some people come to booklet and give me.
Mm-hmm.
They could bring one and think and show you. They have a child union here.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So,
Yeah, but while we're talking about it, I understand your position with the fees, right?
mm-hmm.
And I don't have the Constitution, so I don't know what the Constitution says about whether or not you could get your money back or not. But all of that should be in the Constitution, right?
I want to remember them link up.
Yeah.
Link up.
Yeah.
Let me give them, check my number, not check my number. My number is 346
Mm-hmm.
3386. And I remember a listener, look at my number, call me,
Okay.
get together, could make them speak to the people at Trinidad, International Labour Union, that's no one,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Okay.
And yeah, a number is 346 3386. That's my number.
Okay.
I mean, then start going and speak. My name is Raymond Richard, okay?
Okay, Mr. Richard.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's a call there for the Virgin Islands Workers Union to become more in tune with the members and to move this thing forward. It has a lot of potential, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that I know about labor unions. It has a lot of potentials, not only to deal with labor relations and working conditions, but a number of other things. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, the sponsors that made this show possible are calling for a break, so we're going to take a break and we're going to be right back with you. Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with you after a short break. We were there talking a bit about labor unions and specifically some of the issues associated with Virgin Islands Workers Union. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on. We're going to jump on some other topics. I want to talk specifically about electronic garbage disposal. I am paying attention. I've spoken about this on the show before, but some things came to my attention recently that I want to bring our community up to speed on, and that is cell phones, television sets, VCRs, you name it, all of these electronic things that we have, telephones, cameras, all these things that work with solid state boards and components. We have to find a way of disposing of them rather than sending them to the incinerator to burn them. There's some chemicals in some of these things that should not be incinerated because they get in the atmosphere and they become problematic to us human beings and to animals in general. So I think, we probably need to become more sensitive to the way. I think we will have to start sorting the garbage. It may sound like a arduous job. It may be not in our culture. We have a culture where we put the garbage on top of the vehicle, but we may have to change that culture to sorting our garbage, where you put the paper and cardboard one way and the bottles another way, and the electronic gadgets another way, to try and help to preserve the little bit of these islands that we still have and call our own. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting it out there, we need to consider not just throwing things away, because we know of some of the ingredients in some of the things that we are throwing away. And it's not healthy to just say, the government is going to take care of that, the government is going to solve the problem. We have to take responsibility and sort these things out ourselves in a serious manner, and then everything else I think will fall in place once we as a people decide that we want a certain quality of life. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting it out there. We need to look at the electronic garbage disposal, and one of my colleagues even reminded me that we're actually throwing away gold, and if we are so fortunate to be throwing away gold, then we need to take a serious look at it and do better. Also, there's concern that one of the byproducts of the electronic disposal is mercury, and mercury getting into the water system is really an unhealthy situation. I've watched a whole documentary on this, and I think that we have to try our best, our utmost, to ensure that the groundwater that we have is not being contaminated, and that is another area of concern when it comes to electronic garbage disposal. And then the immunization of children. I understand that, not understand it, but I had a first-hand experience where you have to now pay for children to be immunized. The school year is coming up in September, and the schools are going to have to monitor who is going to be coming to these schools, with their immunization properly done. So now it's up to the parents to ensure that all the children in the territory are paid up, immunized. And I think it's probably a mistake that we have made in requiring children to have to pay for immunization. So I would put it out there as well that the power brokers that we have in our society, the decision makers, should take a second look at the situation and consider the single mothers or the parents, the mother and father who might not be in a position to pay for immunization, but they want the children to be educated, and it would be really a difficult decision to have to make, to choose between immunization and going to school. So I think we might have to take a second look at that situation. I don't know what the schools may do. The schools we have a chicken and an egg situation, because we have compulsory education in the lower sections of the schools, and I don't think you can turn the students away. But if someone knows better, they could always link me up on the World Wide Web, or call me on the smartphone, or or use the numbers on the screen and let me know. But I think it's going to come to a showdown, because some people will have had their children immunized, and there'll be some people who will not. And I think all of them are going to be in the same classroom. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, these are real issues. Let us talk about them before they become a reality. September is right around the corner. And I would like to see things like that sort of talked about and resolved before we actually get to the September. Another issue I was going to raise, ladies and gentlemen, is internet speed. I don't know about many of you, but I have been experiencing a number of different scenarios where I am convinced that there's the speed that a number of suppliers are advertising and purporting to be having, they don't have. And I'm saying this based on running some tests myself, and I don't see the speed that we should have on the internet. See a lot of internet dropping. You know the line just go dead after a while, and I know that we have the TRC, which is the government body which is supposed to ensure that we have good quality, and that businesses give individuals a fair and honest service when they're providing the various services, whether it's 1G or 2G or 2.5G. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we have to ask for some intervention into the speed, 1, the service, 2, and the lack of service, 3. And while we're on that topic, the internet divide, there's still some pockets in the territory where you can't get proper connection, proper access, and that is one of the problems. Put yourself in the shoes of a young person trying to communicate with their colleagues, or do some research on the internet, or do some homework, or pull up their grades. A number of things, and you have to put the phone on the window, in order to get access. This is 2015. Internet divide is an internet topic which speaks to, in the inner city, usually there's good service, and as you keep going further and further into the suburbs, into the countryside, you get less and less service. In some cases, you have no service. As a matter of fact, I've seen some people advertising off the grid, meaning that they're completely off the grid. They're not being serviced by the providers. So I don't know if there are any spots here that you can actually post a sign saying off the grid, but I know there's some challenges, and there was a lot of debate over the years about pole sharing telecommunication tower poles, and there was a lot of lobbying for specific sites and stuff like that. But whatever it is, I think it needs to be revisited, and we as citizens, we need better service. We're paying good, hard-earned United States dollars, and we need better services. And when you think about it, we're not the only people getting service. The government buys service as well. The government buys telephone service, internet service, cell phone service, all the same services that we buy. So if we're being affected, more than likely the government is being affected 10 times or 100 times more, because they have many more subscribers. So let's try and fix the digital divide, making sure that all over the territory we have the same type of access. No drop calls, no drop internet, consistent speed that we're guaranteed speed, I should say. If you say we're operating at at 31 megahertz. Let's ensure that that's where we're at. It's not it's not rocket science. Let's step up a bit and sell what we are marketing. We're giving away phones, and we're doing a lot of things, but we need to tighten up the other end, the delivery end, and ensure that we're delivering what we're saying we're delivering. And when that is not happening, I would like to hear the TRC come forward and say something, not being totally silent. There's an old saying that silence is consent. So don't be silent on these kind of issues. Try and be more vocal on these kind of issues. You're out here to serve the public, and the public needs your support. And the public appreciates your support. So do what you have to do, and you'll always be recognized by the public. I'm pretty sure. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting those things out there: the electronic garbage disposal, the water. Try and keep the mercury out of our water system. We don't need that. The immunization of children, and of course the internet speed, digital divide. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an interactive show with the community from Anegada to Joshua Dyke. Don't be afraid to call. The numbers are up there: 300-1949 and 300-1950 if you're going to text. And I'm going to try and touch on one or two more topics, right, as we proceed. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'm going to have to take a break for the sponsors that make the show possible. So I'll take a break and we'll be right back with you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we had a short break. We were talking about electronic garbage disposal and some other immunization issues. I just got a text that I want to share with the viewing audience. It says a team of 24 from Purple Dragon, Tortola, and Virgin Gorda dojos went to Trinidad for the Karate World Championships, and so far they've won 14 medals. So that's some good news for us. That's a good idea. Good evening. You have reached Speak Your Mind. Go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, man. I'm just calling to show you I like the work that's going on,
Okay.
And I hope these people who said in the government they slip up them and never turn back,
Mm-hmm.
And information, well, and them put themselves where them sit right now. It's people. So I'm happy to know what's going on. So I just want them to carry on the good work. Another thing like calling again. What I would like them to do, I'm not saying here, but life is important.
Okay.
I would like them to form a law that's when the bus letting out the school children, no other age people supposed to pass, because some of these school children is very stubborn, and we have to secure the school children, because any one of them could be a lawyer, a doctor, anything. I would like that to happen, my brother.
I am familiar with what you're speaking about. Right next door in St. Thomas, when the school bus stops, there's a stop sign that comes out on the back of the school bus, and you're not supposed to pass the school bus under no circumstance.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. We have some other challenges with those school buses, though. You would agree.
All right.
some of them they stop, they don't pull off of the road, they stop in the middle of the road, you know. But the safety and the life of the children, as you were saying, is the most important issue.
And again, some of these drivers, they don't have no patience, not no timing, because down the road a lot of time they see them really perform.
Yeah.
You understand? And you have to secure one another, my brother.
Yeah, it's true.
And
we have to look out for the young people.
Sorry?
And we have to look out for the young people.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying, I don't want to see Tatula go man, because Tatula make a lot of people see a lot of vision in themselves.
That's
so
true.
we want to keep it up, man, and make it be powerful, man. We want to work on it, man.
That's true. That's
all of the people who are listening me. I don't know if I'm talking nonsense.
No, you're not talking nonsense.
I'm just trying.
You're positive.
Yes.
That's good.
So, you keep it locked until.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're here live. 3001949 if you're going to call. 3001950 if you're going to text. And we're reaching out to the larger Virgin Islands community. Speak Your Mind show, where people in this community are able to express themselves and discuss the various issues in the territory. Like I said before, I was appealing to especially Virgin Gorda, Joshua Van Dyke, where we know we have some ongoing issues. We have some issues, some of them being worked on, some of them not. And, you know, let us hear from you the people. Tell us what's happening in these areas. We know that everything isn't going to happen overnight, but at the same time, continue to talk about the issues, and I'm sure they'll be resolved one way or another. Dialogue is one of the true ways of, representation. Speak your mind. Talk about the issues at hand and continue to dialogue and hope for, change, resolution, solutions to the various problems that we have. I'm sure that is how we were able to get to where we are today. As the brother who just called was saying, he was saying he liked the direction that we're going in. And there are many persons who were here before us and who blazed the way. They did what they had to do during their time. This is our time. So let us continue to do what we're doing, and don't forget, to be humble, to be statesman-like if you're in a position that requires that, and to to think things through. A good buddy of mine said the best thing to do is to think things through, rather than just just haphazardly doing what you have to do. Just think things through properly. And engage all your five senses. And if that's not enough, liaison with one or two colleagues and throw your ideas at them and hear what they have to say. And that should come with some resolution. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, so back on the digital divide and the digital speed, I think we as a community we demand more. We appreciate the giveaways, and all that stuff, but we want quality service. Quality service is good for the individual. It's good for the community. It's good for business. There are a number of businesses here that I see in the future will not have any store for you to walk into. I know of one or two positions like that as we speak. And you might say, DeCastro, what are you talking about? That's not going to happen. But let me explain to you. There are persons who have their business set up where they have a www address, they have email, and they have the smartphone, and they're able to take orders on a daily basis and deliver those orders in little or no time. They don't have any storefront. They don't have any place where you can meet them, but you can make an order and you can get a delivery right here in these Virgin Islands. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that is going to transcend the traditional way of doing business in these islands. So, it's going to happen. It's already happening. So, it depends on the backbone, the electronic backbone that we have in place, and the reliability of that backbone. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your technical guy tonight. I promote technology more than anything else. That may be so, but I probably live it. So they say if you live it, you probably can talk about it. Sort of wrapping up what happened tonight. We had a pretty intense show speaking about the probably urging of leaders to rename the major roads. H. Stout, Romney, Whitley, O'Neill, Smith, and do away with these colonial names that we have. They've been around for a while. They served their purpose. That was then. This is now. We had some conversation about the labor union, the Virgin Islands Workers Union, and young man gave his information out and also suggested a way forward for moving the union. The HLSCC, I spoke a bit about that. Next show, I'm pretty sure I'll have some more concrete information about when classes start. Pretty soon, by the way. I talked a bit about the electronic garbage disposal and how we should start considering sorting garbage. Good night. Where is Sam? I got a text that said, good night, where is Sam? Sam opted not to be on the show. Talk about water, talk about immunization, talk about the internet speed, talk about the digital divide. And, we were able to impact some of the thoughts and some of the issues concerning these Virgin Islands. Talked a bit about the ongoing road works. Talked a bit about the water lines being repaired. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be the voice of the people in this community who need to speak their mind and dialogue with the various government agencies, individuals, companies in the Virgin Islands. And we will continue to do that as long as we have the way with the sponsors for the show and the engineering and the support staff that is a part of this organization. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be closing out pretty soon, but don't forget that you can always view this entire show on www.jtvlive.net at your convenience anytime after the show is finished. So one last thing before I leave, I'd like to remind our viewers that on a previous show I suggested as well that the information from the House of Assembly should be made available on the internet for persons to read shortly after. And this was done here before, and it could be done again. The information is taken electronically. Yes, good evening. If you speak your mind, go right ahead, please.
Yes, good night.
Good night.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Not true. That's very late, but nevertheless, I have the opportunity to express my concern.
Okay.
My concern really has to do with what is going on in, I guess you're aware of what is going on in Dominican Republic. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir. I'm aware.
Yes.
You're referring to the immigration policy that they're carrying out, where they're deporting persons from various countries, although they were born in that country.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Especially the Haitian people. The Haitian community is being affected most of all. is being slaughtered.
Yes,
You understand, in this country.
that's true.
And it's very sad to see
Okay.
all of this.
Are you,
Because my question tonight is for the government of the BVI. My question is, what is the stand on this for the British Virgin Island government? Because there's a wide community of Dominican Republic people here. Also, there's Asian here.
Yes.
Now, they came here to make a better life. Just as how the Asian migrate to their country to make a better life.
That's true.
And from they, as Asians, to suffer so many years and to be going through this in this day and age, and the people are migrating to other parts of the world to make a better living just as the Asians. So I would like to know, I would like someone to tell me what is the stand, what are the government of the BVI thinking, and what stand are they going to, if they're taking a stand, what are the stand? Because this is very disturbing. I was watching Facebook about 2 days ago.
Yeah.
147 Asians is the slaughter in the street
Yeah.
of Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Well, Carla, I don't know if you've heard that the CARICOM has come out in strong support against what is being done in the Dominican Republic.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Right.
And I would like to see other measures taken because, like I expressed again, I know the relationship as I heard between Dominican Republic people and the British Virgin Islands.
Right.
It goes way back.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, you understand? This is unjust and unfair, and the
It's-
people of Haiti
to-
suffer too much.
To me, it's a human right issue as well.
Huh?
To me, it's a human right issue as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we all got to play a part.
Yeah.
And I hope that the British Virgin Island government, as long as, like I said, there's a lot of Dominican Republic people here who making a living, sending back home the money out there to build the economy and support the economy of that government with exploiting and advancing the Haitian people. And it caught my heart, not only because I'm a black man, but because I'm a human being.
Right.
And those people suffer so much. They stand up for our rights 200 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate and very sad. And I would like to see all the Caribbean islands take a stand on this matter. And a serious one too.
Well, Carl-
Something has to be done.
Carla, are you also aware too that the people from Haiti fought in the American Revolution for America to become a independent country?
Well, I never fully aware of all the facts, but I
That's-
get some information on that.
That's-
And that's what I'm saying.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. What these people went through, what they done for us as a race also.
Yeah.
We have to repay them. We have to stand firm for them. They're suffering too much.
Yeah,
And they are human beings. And not only that, if somebody from here leave and go down to that country now, do you think they're going to study the accent and study where they're from? They could get caught up in that car fire.
Yep.
Because of the color of the skin.
That's right.
Okay, a race issue. And we need to do something about it. There's a lot of people here. I'm not in the Dominican Republic. People come out and speak out. And they need to. They need to come and say, well, they can't condone that. The government or whatever. Someone needs to do something. You understand? Thank you again.
Thank-
First time you live with me.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing it to the broader community.
Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome.
All right. No. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just out of time. We had to take that last call, but we're just out of time. And as usual, we had a wonderful show. Cover a number of topics, had a number of calls, had a number of texts, which we're really glad to be able to dialogue with the people in this community. Had a wonderful show. And at this time, I'd like to say God bless these Virgin Islands and the people that live in them. And I'll see you again next week.